Let me tell you the secret that has led to my goal. My strength lies in my tenacity. That is Louis Pasteur. My friends, your tenacity, that is your stick-to-itness, the demand upon yourself to keep going when others would quit. You can do this. And just look at these charts. Are these not beautiful waves of energy, of price movement down and up? Is it that hard to track? Is it really? I would argue to you, not so. If you will spend a little bit of time paying attention, learning what volume's all about, learning what the Heikin-Ashi candlesticks are all about, how to draw trend lines and use them for your entry points, and of course, making sure that you use these tools over here, the long position and the short position, to set your profit and loss bands. And remember, we use the ATR on our 2-day chart in order to do that. Lots of good training at the channel here every day. Patreon members, thank you so much for your support. We so appreciate you. Let's jump into these charts. We'll start with the S&P 500. Markets are still open. About another 30 minutes till they close. We're doing this a little early. We see that the S&P is up 0.34% for the day, starting this week off with a higher high. We can see, again, we've updated our trend line. And again, we can see the half day is well above it, 2-day nicely above it, things moving in the right direction. Volume not super high as we start the latest 2-day candle. But again, as we look at where things are, we get a good feel up in the morning, slowing down a little bit in the afternoon. So again, moving in the right direction. What about the NASDAQ? When we go to the NASDAQ 100, we can see again 3 weeks of up movement. Decent volume last week and the week before. Price above the weekly on the 2-day and on the half-day. We can see, though, today, after 1, 2, 3 days of decent up movement, things are slacking off a little bit, down 0.40%, maybe just catching its breath before it moves up. But we will keep an eye on things, not reaching a higher high, I don't think. Let's look. The high so far this week, 320.17. Last week, 321.17. So yes, not reaching a higher high yet. We'll keep our eye particularly on the NASDAQ 100. Let's move on to 20-year bonds. What's going on there? Again, still this sort of sideways slide. We can see where maybe 1, 2, 3, almost 4 points where things have just sort of hit and moved off of. So are we going to move above that, or are we going to bounce back off again? We had 2 negative weeks of volume, you can see, and we will keep our eye. I'm just saying a negative volume. Again, when I say that, I don't mean that the volume's negative, but down moving volume is what we're seeing there. That's not necessarily so. We can analyze it a little better when we look at the 2-day and the half-day charts. But what we see is volume starting off slow this week and movement very slow, 0.21%. We will keep an eye on things, see if it rolls over this week, and again, really starts to move off the mark. We're just sort of where we have been over the last going into 3 weeks. So we will pay attention again and see where this leads us. What about gold? Gold up 0.69%. Now, if we go back 2 weeks to the week starting the 20th of March, we can see that the high was 186.24. So far this week, 185.04. Again, even lower last week, 184.44 was the high. So again, we'll see if gold is going to sort of rev back up again and move. You can see a red volume candle last week at decreasing volume. You can see where things peaked up on the 2-day chart and have really been running sideways since then. Same on the half day. So let's see if gold does take off again, or maybe we're hitting a topper here somewhere. So we'll keep an eye on things, see what volume and price tell us as the week moves along. What about Bitcoin? Down for the day 1.16%, sort of topping out, going into the 3rd week in a row. We can see it on the 2-day charts too, and of course on the half days. So we'll continue to wait, watch, and see which way Bitcoin is going to go. We sort of see where it moves up in spurts, sideways, up. That's the way it has done it here over this last little move up. So we'll see if Bitcoin's going to start at some point, giving us some reasonable trackability. That is where we are, folks, as we end the first day of this week. Thanks so much for being with us, Patreon members. Thank you for your support. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.